Hi, I'm Franco Viotto, and today I am in the fields, in some fields close to the factory of A.Sped in Badia Polesine, Italy, and I'm going to explain you some information about the in-row power harrow series Plutone. The Plutone comes in two sizes, in two models. Is 120 centimeters and 140 centimeters. The difference is just the frame, which is designed for narrower or wider orchards. In fact, this is a machine that was designed for working in orchards and getting rid of the weed. The machine basically, 90% of the cases is used with a power harrow head, but on the same machine it's possible also to mount a rotary tiller and also a flail mower. But again, most of the cases the machine comes with the head of power harrow. As you see, we have the possibility to run 6 rotors. But normally the blades are mounted on the first 4 rotors, which are about, we cover an area about 50-60 centimeters, 2 feet, and so we can work between the plants. We have a sensor that allows the machine to move in and out. Now we are going to explain you what you are expected to do once you receive the machine. Normally the machine is leaving from Italy partially disassembled, and the head is packed separately. The only thing the dealer has to do is to bolt the head on the main machine. We have 2 drive lines. One coming from the tractor to the main gearbox. Of course, the tractor has to run 540 RPM. And then we have a second drive line. We have a second drive line that is transmitting the movement on the rotors. The setting is quite simple. The setting is very simple. We control the main working depth with the 3-point hitch. We adjust here, and so we deeper are the wheels, higher is the machine from the ground, and then we can adjust also the tilt of the head. So if the ground is flat, the head will work parallel to the ground. Instead, if we have a berm, then we can tilt a little bit the head. We have a control on the tractor, a remote control. In this case is a cable, and but we can also have a switch box electrical control, which allows to faster movement and better control. We have this piston that is adjusting the tilt, and we have 2 swing arms that allows the movement in and out. So as you can see, this is a machine, is a Plutone, which is quite old. It has been working now for 5 years, and in the meantime there have been some changes on the construction, on the design. For instance, these wheels are just fixed, but the latest version has the possibility to adjust independently the gauge wheels each side. So for instance, if one side we have a berm, we can keep this wheel a little bit higher and that one lower. And the 3-point can be either mechanical, like in this case, or we can also have a piston to adjust in the case that the guy that is working, the operator, wants to make fine adjustments without coming down from the seat of the tractor. A very important thing to take care when you are using this machine is never, absolutely never run the power harrow or the head when the head is lifted. And also when you are turning the machine at the end of the field, at the end of the orchard. The operations to do are the following. Once you have the PTO running, stop the PTO and then lift or put down the head. Remember that once you are traveling on the road, there is a safety pin that I'm going to show you now. This is a safety pin that is used for when you are using the machine, going the machine on the public road. Now Michele is going to show us where to place the pin once you are working. There is a second hole where you can store the pin once you are working. Very important to remember to change from one position to the other. Now I'm going to explain you a little bit how this machine works. We have inside the main box we have rotors rotating one against the other. We have some large gears, so the movement starts from here. Then we have counter rotating gears like that, once against the other. That's why the blades are crisscrossing one against the other. And inside the main box we have a grease type 00. The grease, once the machine started to run, gets warmer, and so it is getting more liquid. Normally you don't need to change this grease because it's practically there for the life. To be sure that you have sufficient grease inside, you open this plug here, and you see inside the grease that is practically is important that is covering the gears. I make a very simple test here. I'm inserting this stick here, and we see that we have a grease inside. It's important to have always grease because it could be that if for some reason you lose the grease, then you are in trouble. One important thing is that once a day the operator checks that there are no checks daily that there are no leaks underneath, because the grease becomes liquid, and if for some reason the operator is hitting some I don't know, steel wire, some debris, whatever, the part here is protected, but better be worried than sorry. So once a day is a good rule to check that there are no damages on the machine and there are no leaks, because if you run the machine without oil, without grease, excuse me, then of course you damage all the transmission part. Here we have the rotor here with some oil seals and the bearings and the shaft, and I will show you later how is the construction. This is the main reservoir where we have the oil that is running all the system. As you know, the PLUTONE is a self-contained machine, and here we have 15 liter, which are about 4 gallons of oil, HV68, and here we have this is the check stick to be sure that we have always sufficient oil. Right now I'm showing here with my finger the back of the valve that is activating the traction of the head. If for some reason there is no retraction, there could be two main reasons. One could be that you need to adjust better the sensor, the tracer, and the other one is could be that the spring that is inside here is we say tired, is he have been working for a very long time, is a little bit weaker, or there is also a little bolt with a plate, so if for some reason there is no retraction, you may have to check here to be sure that everything is working properly. Since we are here, I'm going to explain you. This is the hitch where we are adjusting the tracer. The tracer is spring loaded. You see, we have 3 settings. One here that gives the angle. One here that adjusts the angle of the tracer itself. Here you have 2 set nuts to adjust the position of the sensor. Normally, once you are running the machine, you have to hit here, just a little bit inside the head, and this makes the tracer to react. We have the machine comes with 3 different springs, with which one is very weak, one medium, one stronger, and this gives the sensitivity of the tracer. So if you are working on young plants, you may use the weakest, while if you are working on all the plantations, you use the oldest. Anyway, something that you have to check personally to find out which is the best one. Okay, now we have Michele that is going to show us how to operate on the sensing rod. So first, what he's going to do is making loose that set bolt, and this permits to get closer or far away from the head. The second one is to adjust the position of the sensing rod. You can go in and out, okay, as you see, okay. And the third operation is to adjust the angle. Of course, this is you may need it if you have a berm, or if you have if you want to catch a certain position of the trunk. Now Michele is going to show us another option. The clamp is reversible. If for some reason you need to have the sensing rod higher on the ground, you can put it on the opposite position. Okay, now you see in this case the sensing rod is a little bit taller from the ground. Okay, now Michele is going to show us how to change the spring, which allows have a different sensitivity. You have three different springs that are coming with the machine. Very simple operation. This valve here is used for adjust the flow of the oil. Practically you can adjust the reaction, make it faster or slower depending what are your needs. Well, one important thing is to be sure that once you are working, you have not to go totally into the ground with the blades. You have to leave about something like 2 fingers, so 1/2 inch, something like that. Because if you go too down, then you collect debris, twines, whatever. And if you have too much debris, dirt, etc. Getting inside here, then you risk to damage the oil seals. One important thing to do, possibly once a day, is to keep lubricated the drive shaft that goes from the tractor to the machine. And now Michele is going to show us what to do. As you see, he's going to put some grease into the telescopic tubings. This is it's important to keep that part lubricated. Because particularly the drive line that goes from the tractor to the machine is constantly swinging in and out, moving in and out. And also, yes, Michele is pointing also a grease zerk that also you have to keep lubricated once a day on both ends. On both hands. On both hands you have to lubricate the spiders of the drive line. Now Michele is putting back the drive line. Again, once a day, lubricate and more also, because if you are using the PLUTONE in 2-3 shifts during the day, at the end of every shift is recommended to check the drive line and lubricate. Be sure to have always all the safety shields on the drive line. What is Michele is doing next is checking the drive line that goes from the gearbox to the rotors. You have some grease zerks that you have to lubricate also daily. Even if this drive line is not moving much, better just to lubricate constantly. And on the rotor hand, you have 2 grease zerks that needs to be lubricated. That drive line is not much under pressure, but it is better to lubricate it at every 4 or 5 days, This is the drive line that is transmitting the movement from the gearbox to the rotors. In this case, the tubings do not have a shield because this drive line is inside the main frame. As you see, Michele has been putting some grease, and also what he's doing now is lubricating the spline shafts on both sides. As you see, Michele is very expert, so he's doing this work many times a day because Michele is in charge of the maintenance and servicing the machines all over the world, so he knows how to do. Maybe a new operator may need a little bit more patience to connect the drive line. Again, remember always to care to the safety rules, so always motor off, always shields in place, and this operation has to be made by skilled people.